Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Stuff HD podcast. It's a little bit late. It's been over a year. Oh, well, this is Javier, aka Stuff, and in front of me we have
X in the house.
X in the house, which apparently we had decided that the house was the apartment.
Yes,
like the apartment was the house.
It's sheltered.
It is sheltered.
It gives us a comfort level.
I don't have a fire going, but it does give us a rest bonus.
But we do got a cheap AC going.
We have cheap AC going that feels like it's a fire because it's really warm in here anyway. But so how have you been? Anything happened in the last year or so?
I don't know. It's kind of like being in a coma. The time just went by.
Last time we did a podcast, it was February of 2020, and then some stuff happened.
Yeah, it was like it's all a blur.
It's all a big blur, and now we're here.
Yeah.
So that's interesting.
Yeah. So, but it's like not a lot of excitement going on, but I would say that I did some reflecting and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Learning about some things, trying to improve other things, my life, I guess. Hasn't been helpful, but
okay, no, hasn't worked. Huh?
Not yet, but
okay.
It will.
It will work.
It will soon.
Honestly, like there hasn't been a whole lot going on over here either. Like I've been working from home since March 2020, I want to say. I was supposed to go back in the office June 2020, then that became August 2020, then that became October, then December, then March again, then
they were like,
June
you know
again.
What? We'll just let you know later.
Yeah, now it's supposed to be, I think, October 2021. So at this point, I'm like, am I even going to remember how to do work away from home?
It's going to be so weird.
It is going to be weird, like having to put on pants.
Yeah.
Because, right now you use the webcam.
Yeah.
And as soon as you do your hair and, throw on a shirt, they don't know what's going on. They don't know if you're wearing your pajamas or.
Just don't stand up.
Yeah, you just don't stand up. And if you're going to stand up, then you mute not mute, but, you turn off the video, you get up, do whatever, then come back.
Have you had any close calls where you forget?
No, because I do actually put on pants before.
No, not necessarily that, but like, any little thing, like, I can't even, like, I don't know, like, you forget to mute yourself if you sneeze or something like that.
No, nothing like that. The closest maybe like making it obvious where somebody might have been talking and I might have been just kind of playing with some device.
Yeah,
I like sometimes I need to fidget with something. So,
yeah.
So that might have happened a few times, but nothing crazy. Like you hear on the news or whatever about people going to the bathroom and stuff like that. I'm like, no, I haven't seen that happening.
Have you had anybody with like some weird background, like virtual backgrounds?
No, nothing crazy. Like, you have the normal like beach thing. A lot of people
poor green screen.
Like our company, we use Microsoft Teams and we also use Zoom. But for Microsoft Teams, they actually included a bunch of like backgrounds of the offices. So, some people are boring enough to have like a background of the work office. I myself, what I've done in the past is I'll put one of those on, but then I have a little cover for my camera so that they can't see anything. So like I'll close that and then all you see is just the background. And then I'm talking and people are like, where are you? Like,
yeah, like I've had people that put backgrounds and they don't know how they did it. So it'll just be some like random, they're like in outer space for some reason. And you're like, hey, why do you have outer space? Like, I don't know. I turned it on. I don't know how to turn it on.
That's how my kid set it up.
Yeah.
And yeah, of course, there have been plenty of kids, plenty of puppies, plenty of dogs. Yeah,
in the back.
that are just in the back. But like at first, I thought that was gonna be weird. I'm sure a lot of people were very concerned, but like everybody understands. Like nobody cares. Like, yeah, your child is there, okay, like.
Especially at the beginning, like you're more careful.
Yeah.
But then after a while, you're like, man, like, I don't care. They're in the back, whatever.
Yeah, everybody understands.
People are just like at the beginning, I know people were like too scared to like eat in front of the camera. But then after a while, everybody was just eating like in front of the camera.
Like if somebody sets up a lunch meeting, like, look, I'm going to be eating. Now, I will go ahead and turn off the video and mute myself. But, just because I don't want anybody watching me eat, but
yeah.
But anyway, on this episode of the podcast, it shouldn't be a long podcast, but that's what we always say, and that's our staple. That's our staple, to be like, oh, it's gonna be a quick one, and then it's not. First of all, I do hope that the podcast sounds better.
Yeah,
because we have better equipment now going on here. You can't see it because it is currently not a video podcast, and that is because a video podcast is a lot of work.
Yeah, more variables.
Trying to set up a video thing, like, remember, I do this from the apartment, the house, in the house,
his house,
and anything that I set up, I have to take down after setting it up. So currently, I just don't feel like doing. Like, let's be honest, I just don't feel like going through the trouble of setting this up as a video podcast. But eventually, I do want to make this a video podcast because I just spent a lot of money on Shure SM7B microphones, and you kind of want to show those off,
Yeah, you're like, look.
So eventually, it will be a video podcast. I just have to figure out the right way of doing it. That's gonna be minimalistic enough, so it'll probably be like just one camera. But
I think a single shot would be fine.
Yeah, like I'm not trying
with the
to
logo
do
right there.
Too fancy. If we ever start making money with a podcast, be it this one or one of the many other ones, then maybe. But for now, it's just a podcast.
Yeah. Soon we'll have like a email for anybody interested with sponsorships. You want to sponsor
sponsors?
us?
Yeah, if you want to sponsor this thing, like if your company is making too much money and you need that to go down, then go ahead, sponsor us. You'll get canceled right away.
Now we good. We're keeping it clean now.
We are kind of trying to keep it clean.
1 year older, 1 year wiser,
older,
more mature,
for sure. Older,
mature.
We've been through a lot last year. It feels like a really long year. Like it feels like it's been forever, and really it hasn't. Obviously, like
yeah,
it literally hasn't been forever.
So it's like,
but if you listen to this, us trying to be more mature and whatnot, but then you go and you listen to our Valheim.
Yeah, the GameX protocol. That's where we're a little bit more
protocol
loose.
On Twitch, YouTube, Facebook also, right?
Yes, sir.
We just go right back to high school kids.
Yeah.
So
because video gamers are immature.
That's on purpose.
Yeah.
It's very difficult for us to act that way, but that's what's expected.
See, that's because when you're gaming, it's like an emotional thing. Like if you get killed in the game when you shouldn't be killed, you're like you just want to express yourself.
You got a rant.
Yeah, exactly. So if you want to hear a little bit, more childish version of us, make sure you check out GameX protocol
in your favorite platform.
Yeah, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook.
There's also a Stuff HD on Twitch. I have been doing some streaming there, mostly when we stream on GameX protocol. So I just like to show my version of events.
Yeah.
But I've been trying to do some stuff there. I created a Stuff HD Gaming channel on YouTube. The idea there is to put smaller clips, either of things that happen in the Twitch, or just smaller things that I decide to do. Like, I'm not gonna put like 5 hours of streaming on YouTube. And I decided to do that in a separate channel because that's, not everybody wants to see that. Actually, based on the amount of people that watch my stream, nobody wants to see that. So
hey, you just gotta keep putting more.
So yeah, on this podcast episode, we're just kind of doing we're just a state of the union of Stuff HD. Not Stuff HD, of the Stuff Networks, because, for those of you who don't know, there's the Stuff Networks, is the parent company of Stuff HD, and a few other things like the Prolific Creator podcast. We have Stuff HD, we have the Prolific Creator podcast, we have the Javi Picks for pictures. What else do I have? The TSN store, the TSN Experience store. That's something that we're working on. That's coming soon, hopefully. And I probably have some other. I had a JT Wear brand for shirts. I've kind of killed that off. But we have some new ideas coming up. So anyway, Stuff HD. I am trying to get back into making some videos. However, I'm not the YouTuber that wants a whole bunch of views.
Yeah.
Another YouTuber that wants you to subscribe, like all that stuff. Like, I'm the YouTuber that, like, I won't lie, I tried to be that YouTuber at some point. I was trying to get like the perfect thumbnail, like the perfect title, I was doing the tag, the keywords at the bottom, all the tags and all that, trying to get my views up. I was like dreaming of getting to 1,000 subscribers so that I could start getting, tiny little bits of money and whatnot. But then at the same time, I'm like, well, if I ever got that many subscribers, like, that would mean that I would feel
pressure.
I would feel the pressure to actually make these videos. And honestly, like, I like making videos when I actually think of something that I want to make, so I don't want to be making videos just for the hell of making a video. Like again, in the past, I tried promising like, oh, I'm going to make videos every Wednesday, every Friday, whatever. Like, but then you end up making crap videos because you're not into it. You're just making a video because, oh, I have to make a video. And I'm like, no, that's not my style.
Yeah, and especially like with the year we've gone through, there's really hasn't been really much to
absolutely anything. Like,
like we wanted to do like the Milwaukee has a bunch of festivals, and we wanted to actually go to them. And we're like, this year we're going to do it. But, then we got an excuse not to be able to do it. But yeah, it's like
every year we were like, oh, this year we're going to do it. And then we never did it. And then this 2020, we really were like, okay, for reals, this year, we're going to do it. And then COVID happened.
Yeah. So yeah, like I definitely understand it, because that's kind of what I do. Like in my tech channel, which got a rebrand. I won't say because I haven't changed the name, but eventually it will. Follow me on l.ekis at Twitter. I don't know if I'm going to put it there, but but
we are so bad with social media.
We are. And I think like some nice news that you told me was that with the Prolific Creator that you got somebody on board to kind of help out with that. And I think, that might be a nice little change of what do you even call it? Like a nice little bonus or like additional help?
Yeah. So that is one of the things that I wanted to mention. Like so Prolific Creator, for example, like those of you who have listened to it, like I did like 6 episodes, I believe it was.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed the idea of the Prolific Creator, the whole idea of just listening to stories of people that are trying to, I like to say that they are creating their own path in life, be it through singing, some kind of artistic talent, or running their own business, or just, finding ways to better themselves, in situations where it might be very, very difficult, but they're still trying, they're constantly working on doing something. And I believe that there are so many people out there that have stories like that. And they are stories that, maybe you get to hear about them. Maybe somebody else gets to hear about them because they're people that but they're stories that could help other people, that could inspire other people, So I really like the idea of the Prolific Creator podcast. However, I did feel that I was not the right person to host that podcast. So one of the because I like people, obviously, but I'm not very good at talking to people that I don't know. Like, I can talk to you, I can talk to a lot of people that I do know, and try to get them to open up, try to get information from them and stuff like that. But when it comes to people that I don't really know, it's difficult for me. Like, that's just not my personality. I'm not that type of person that just makes friends with others and gets them talking and whatnot. So I decided that the podcast would be better served with a host that was able to do that. So we do have a new host that is going to be hosting the Prolific Creator podcast. She is a good friend of mine, has been for a while, and she's been on the podcast before, and
on that actual
Prolific Creator podcast, and I'm really looking forward to this, because I think that she is the type of she's definitely the type of person that is very friendly. She can, talk to people. She's just, a good people person, like very good at talking to people,
like sociable.
Social. Yeah. So I think she's gonna be great for the podcast. Obviously, we're still gonna be producing everything, and she'll be helping us with that too. But again, I like the idea of the podcast. I do believe that there's so many people out there whose stories never get told. And they deserve to have a place where they can tell their stories, and, eventually they can go tell their friends, like, hey, check out this podcast episode, whatever. That's all about me.
Yeah.
And I just think that's cool.
Yeah, because it provides, what would you even say it, like, I forgot what the word was, but like, you can, people post it in their own, like you said, like, know more about me, listen to this.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to, like, a lot of times, people go to they want to make it to, like, the big one,
yeah.
but their stories are never told so that they can share what they right now, and then eventually,
like, it'll help them get there.
Exactly. So it's kind of like helps out, like, oh, this is how I started, and here's how
and even if you're not like an artist that's trying to make it big, it's just nice to have that out there. Like, people can hear your version of events, even me, like, I was my first guest in the Prolific Creator podcast, and, like, I didn't like that because I forget what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So I kind of want to become a guest, one of her guests, because I know that she's gonna be able to ask me stuff that I completely didn't go over in that podcast. But I'm like, like the whole story of me, leaving everything, moving to Puerto Rico, and everything like that. I wanted to put that story on an episode, and I just don't feel like I did a very good job on my own, because, again, I kept forgetting things. Like, later when I was listening to it, I'm like, oh man, I should have talked about this or that, or
yeah. it's like almost good to have somebody to kind of dig in for more details. Like, because sometimes you don't think of like certain details that to you, you just know it because it happened to you. But if somebody be like, but what do you mean when this happened? And then you go like, oh, okay, yeah. And then you go more in details.
And that's the thing that, it sounds kind of bad, but that's the thing that I'm really bad at, like following up with people, trying to get more information, like showing that interest. And it's not like I don't care. It's just that very often, like, I am not that much into details.
Yeah.
And I know my friend, she loves details. So I honestly hope and believe that this is going to be a good thing for nice the podcast.
Yeah.
And, it's just going to be great for everybody. I will also be making a separate, like the podcast has a separate web page. I've always kind of put those podcasts in the Stuff HD. Maybe I'll be separating them into another channel. Kind of makes sense. But yeah, that's happening. I'm also getting another friend of mine to help out, a friend in Mexico. Because like you were talking about how this year we were doing a lot of thinking. And, one of the things that I concluded was that in order to do a lot of the things that we want to do, we need help. And you need help from people that you trust, the people that you know. Use the talents of the people of the people around you. Like very often I've always tried like I've tried doing a lot of things either on my own or just with you. But I'm like, I know other people that are talented. Like let's get those talents going. Be it like hosting, or be it social media, or be it whatever. There's tons of people out there that we know that, well, not tons that we know, but there's definitely people out there with talents that we know that you just got to take advantage of.
Yeah, exactly. Because everybody can contribute something. It doesn't matter how big or how small. Like even if it's somebody who can, we were doing the thing like, somebody who can just take packages to the post office. Like, that's time saved. Like, because if you were to do that, that's taking away time from you where you could have done something else.
Like, we were talking about the shirts business. And I'm like, okay, like one of the things that I absolutely hate is the process of packing a shirt and getting it all ready for shipment and then taking it to the post office, because I can build you a computer out of a bunch of parts, but when it comes to taking a package to the post office, it's like I forget everything.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. Like in my brain, I know that it's simple. Like it's not like I think it's complicated. I know it's simple, but for whatever reason, my mind like freezes when it comes to that stuff. Like I don't like doing it, and I find it complicated, even though at the same time I know it's simple.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, we're like, we can even get somebody in the family to help out with that, the packaging and shipping, and making sure that the packaging is all nice, because that's very important to me, making sure that everything is nice. So those are the things that we are working on the Stuff Network side. You have the M Protocol side, which is you got your own stuff going on.
Yeah, so we got my own stuff going on. We have, of course, we talked a little bit about GameX Protocol, which is our gaming,
which used to be GameX Presents.
Yeah, we had kind of since my music side is called M Protocol.
Yeah,
and so we're like, kind of match it a little bit, kind of see it, since it's already GXP. All we did is change Presents to Protocol, so
it's still GXP.
Yeah, so it's not a huge change. But yeah, like even with that, like, actually being a little bit more consistent, even though, we took, we were playing Valheim, but that game is kind of died out. So we're kind of thinking of new games to play. But But yeah, but like and protocol, you know, you have the music side. Still trying to get that a little bit better organized, because I had, like, this year I was able to take a look at how I had it organized and realized that it was in pretty bad shape. And so I was able to get some things fixed up legally, you might say. And so it's kind of like just making sure I, you know, keep everything in order, you know, do everything, you know, the right way, you know, learning from my mistakes. And so hopefully, we'll be able to, you know, get that ball rolling again. You know, get more studio time, you know, actually focus more, because it's one of those things where, and I'm sure it happens to you when you're making videos, is once you stop making them for a while or stop making music or anything, it's so hard to get back. So it's like, once like you get started in something, like it's almost like you motivate yourself. So that's kind of like what we're starting to do right now, is like revamping everything so we can start getting motivated and making more and more content, you know. And, you know, it's like we try to do the best content we can. So if you're interested, you can always go to mprotocol.com, m-protocol.com. It's just a basic layout right now, just to kind of, you know, have something, but eventually, you know, just, you know, improve the website, you know, with what needs to be improved, I guess.
Which, by the way, I remembered when I was listing the businesses under the Stuff Networks, I forgot to mention TSN Host.
Oh, yeah.
Which is a web hosting business that I'm also working on. So we're working on a lot of different things. You know, I'm trying to get a business going, you know. And like you mentioned, we are learning as we go. Like business, it's complicated, but we're learning little by little. So that's cool. I'm trying to think what else were we working on, but oh yeah, there's also the photo stuff business. Right. I'm working on trying to get a photo. I don't like calling it a photo booth, because a photo booth seems like
studio.
It's a portable photo studio type of thing for events. So lots of ideas running around in the head, which goes back to the thing of you gotta use people that you know, people that you trust, people that can help, because you might have a whole lot of ideas. If you just keep them as ideas, they'll never become anything. So yeah, as far as Stuff HD goes, you know, like I'm trying, like my focus now is to just be straight up, to be honest. Not that I've ever tried to deceive. Even when I was, like, I remember when I was in Puerto Rico and my hurricane passed by, like, I feel like I've always been against winning on YouTube because I noticed that if I put Puerto Rico on my title or put something about Hurricane Maria, then I would get more views. So I was like, okay, screw it. I'm not putting that anymore. Like, just because I felt like, oh, this is just kind of like people are just coming because they want to know about the hurricane. They don't care about my content.
So even if the content was not about Puerto Rico or the hurricane.
Exactly. If it wasn't about, like if I was doing something specifically about Maria, then I would put Hurricane Maria. But I didn't want to be putting Hurricane Maria if what I was talking about wasn't really related, even though I was doing it after Maria, which made things more difficult anyway. But I don't know. I was like, nah, it's not necessarily about Maria. Like I might be dealing with things related to it, but it's not about it. So.
Yeah, and that's always been like one of my issues too, because I do like being transparent with my stuff. And I know like a lot of times people do that and they're like, oh, that's just being smart. Like, yes, it is being smart in you know, trying to get your stuff out there, but at the same time it's kind of like, you know, it's not being truthful, you know. Like, do
there's
people
a
really
fine
care?
line.
Like,
You know, like there's definitely a fine line. Because like I said, if and I'm not trying to say anything about the people who did put after Maria, whatever. Like I said, many times it was stuff that was more difficult because of the hurricane. So technically, they are putting after Hurricane Maria. That would technically be fine. I just wasn't comfortable with it. I didn't like it. I wanted people to watch because they wanted to watch, not because it said Hurricane Maria. So, but I've always found myself doing stuff like that. Yeah, like I know that if I take an amazing picture of something, and then edit it and make it look like a nice thumbnail, then I might have more views because the thumbnail is nice. But I've always been like, well, no, if what I'm like, if the shot of the thumbnail is not in my video, it's not something in my video, then I don't want it to be.
Yeah, it's kind of like,
but then for me, it has to be something about the video. Like it cannot be a thumbnail of something else, and then have it be like 3 seconds of the video. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, kind of like those that they'll put an attractive person.
Yeah, exactly.
In a thumbnail, and they're never in the video.
Yeah, or they're like 2 seconds in the video.
Yeah, it's just yeah.
And again, I get it. It's just, people do whatever.
It's marketing.
It could be marketing, but that's just not me. So right now, my thing is I'm making videos when I have something interesting to talk about that I actually want to talk about. There are sometimes things that I want to talk about that I don't talk about, like when I got my PlayStation 5. But then I was like, well, like there's so many videos about the PlayStation 5. Yeah. I'm like, what the hell am I gonna say? Like, or many times when I get a new cell phone, although I haven't done that in a while. But when I get a new cell phone, I'm like, well, like there's so many people that make better videos about a cell phone than I can. But maybe I should be giving my opinion and stuff. So I'm gonna try to be more giving of my opinion. Yeah. And then if people want to hear it, good. If not, there's definitely much better better videos out there to watch. But my opinion is always gonna be my opinion. It's not always gonna be right. I don't always research everything 100%. I might be speaking out of my boot. But it is my belief when I make the video anyway.
Yeah, it's kind of like I want, like, anybody who watches, like, my content, it's mostly because they enjoy, in this case, like, they enjoy me and my personality or my opinion, not necessarily because they're following a trend.
Correct.
So it's like, oh, you're not gonna force something on, because there's a lot of people like, oh, you must get this. Like, no, like, it's just like, this is what I thought about it. Like,
whenever I leave a link on my description, it's never ever like a link that I'll make any money off. Again, I tried that in the past. I didn't make a single dime. But now I'm like, okay, here's a link just to make it easier in case you care about that. But honestly, I'm so lazy most of the time. I don't put anything. Because again, I'm not trying to sell anybody anything. I'm just letting you know of things
that you either found useful or
stuff that I found useful. Like one of my last videos was about this very device that we're using right now to record this podcast. I liked it. I found it interesting. My video was just an unboxing. It wasn't a review. It wasn't me telling you how to use it. It's not supposed to be an instruction manual. Very often I feel like my videos are more about, hey, I think this thing is pretty cool. This is why I think it's cool.
Research.
And then it's up to you. If you think that it might be cool, then you go check it out. Check out some other YouTube videos that are much better about it.
Right. But it is also nice because like with a lot of the stuff like which I should have mentioned, but I kind of like got distracted with something else. It's I might as well say it's Ape 2K.
Ape 2K, yeah.
So that's the name of my new tech channel. So it's just like a rename because of, you know, reasons. And that's kind of like sometimes I'll buy something and I'll look it, or like before I buy it, I try to look it up and there's nothing on it. And I'm like, okay, like even if I buy it and I kind of like show it off and how I intend to use it, at least it provides some kind of, you know, starting point for somebody else to be like, okay, I can see how it looks. Is it really something I want? Because I think at the end of the day, what I want in my videos is to be helpful to somebody else.
Correct.
So they can make an somewhat informed decision.
So they can kind of go inform themselves.
Yeah, exactly. Just provide some like a foundation of what it is. Because like you said, I am the, like in terms of like my family, everybody comes to me for tech opinions. And I can see
you're the guy.
Yeah, I'm the guy in my family, right? So, you know, a lot of people may not have that one person that's their tech person, right?
Yeah.
So they're kind of off on their own. So if I can provide some form of base, they can like, okay, that looks interesting. I might try it out. Or, oh, actually, that doesn't, you know, really fit my needs how I intended it to do it. And so far, I've had good like feedback with some people, like, oh, I really like this, and I you know, they're like, did you put the link? And I'm like, no, I didn't put no link. But yeah, I can see how I've gotten good feedback.
But see, those comments are good though, because if they ask for the link and you didn't put the link, then you can always go back and edit the description and put the link.
Exactly.
Like I usually say on my videos, like, hey, if you have questions, feel free to ask. Like I'll reply. I'll reply. Unless I forget.
Right.
And I'll try to answer any questions that people have. I hope that you all enjoyed this podcast. If anything, maybe you fell asleep to it. Maybe
how did we sound?
Good. Maybe let us know how it sounded, because I'm hoping that it sounds okay. This has been episode, what did we say it was? 41?
We did 41. So I think it's episode 42, The Meaning of Life. The beginning.
I already forgot what episode this was. No, this is 41.
Oh, that's 41.
We did 40. This is 41.
So the next one is we're going to talk about the meaning of life.
Next year, yes. All right. We're out of here. I hope you all take care. And yeah, let us know if you have any questions, comments, whatever. Even if it's just to say like, hey, you guys talk too much.
Yeah.
Although, you know, that's kind of mean, but.
Yeah, just follow L.X.
L.X.
If you want to know any new,
or, you know, follow Stuff Networks on Twitter or Instagram.
I don't really update.
Yeah, I was about to say you can follow me. Don't expect much though, because
right.
Yet maybe at some point, but yeah, don't expect much, because I don't do social media very well.
We need to like find somebody who's like likes to do the whole social media thing.
I mean, there's nothing to talk about though most of the time.
Right. I mean, it's just like on Twitter. Just when the new podcast is coming out, I guess.
Yeah. Oh well.
On that sad note.
You all take care. I'm out of here.
Deuces.
Bye.